What is up, guys? Stark here. In today's character spotlight, we are taking a look at Oda Nobunaga, who is going to be the event character for the upcoming event, the Guda Guda event. Now, I will talk about those details in a separate video, which, if everything goes according to plan, would have already been uploaded by the time you watch this. If not, it'll be uploaded very soon. So anyway, I'm going to throw her pictures on the screen right now, and I absolutely love her artwork. Now, I do prefer the third Ascension as opposed to the fourth Ascension, but overall, you know, fantastic artwork across the board. It's just, I really like the character design and everything about this character. So I'm going to throw her stats on the screen right now. So she is an archer, so she's going to be effective against sabers and weak to lancers, and she is a 4-star servant. And she's also a free-to-play servant, which you can get just by completing the event. So that's always really nice when you get characters like this. But at level 80, her stats are going to be 9,494 attack and 11,637 HP. And then if you do go ahead and max her out, she will have 13,495 attack and 16,110 HP. So she's got some really good stats for a 4-star unit. You know, and that's especially because she's free to play too, so that always makes it a lot better. And overall, you know, her stats are really good, and her skills are pretty good, and her Noble Phantasm is pretty good. So this is definitely a unit you don't want to miss out on, and you know, she's just awesome altogether. So yeah, moving on here to her servant skills. Her first skill is going to be the Strategy B skill. And this will be an AoE buff skill for all allies, and this will increase the Noble Phantasm gain for 3 turns. Now this starts at 20% at level 1 and it goes up to 30% at level 10, and this is really nice because it can help you generate your Noble Phantasms that much faster, and you know, you always want to do that Noble Phantasm spam as much as you possibly can. Moving on here to her second skill is going to be the Tenkafuba A skill. Now this will increase damage against divine enemies for 1 turn. Now it is just a self buff, but it is a pretty strong buff, being a 50% increase at level 1. Goes up to a 100% increase at level 10. And this is really nice because now this kind of plays in a little bit more with her Noble Phantasm and stuff, but a lot of saber enemies are divine, so you know, you're already going to be doing a lot more damage to them to begin with, and then you know, throw this skill on there and they're going to be doing even more damage. So you know, Nobunaga's really good for clearing sabers. I'll just say that much right now. Her third and final skill is going to be the Demon King A skill, and again, this is a self buff, but what this one does is it'll increase critical star gather rate for 3 turns and increase critical strength for 3 turns as well. So at level 1 it's going to be a 300% increase in your critical star gather rate, and then up at level 10 it's going to be a 600% increase, and then for the critical strength it's going to be a 20% increase at level 1 and a 50% increase at level 10. So, you know, she works really good in crit teams, and you can also combo her with the person I made in the previous video with Okida, and they work really well together, and it kind of combats the fact that, you know, because Nobunaga is an archer, she'll be weak to lancers, but Okida is a saber, so she'll be strong against lancers, so they can kind of combat each other's weaknesses, and that always makes for a really good team composition. You could also throw her in with Atalanta. Now, they're both archers, so you know, if you're going against lancers, you might have a bit of trouble, but if you're going against sabers, you're going to completely decimate them. Moving on here to her class skills, her first one is going to be the Magic Resistance B skill. Now this will increase debuff resistance by 17.5%, and her second one is going to be the Independent Action B skill, which will increase her critical strength by 8%. So again, that's just another little bit of a boost for her critical strength. Nothing too, you know, special about the class skills. I don't think there's any real characters that have like a unique class skill, but maybe in the future we'll get something like that. Moving on here to her Ascension and her skill enhancement materials. Now she is an event character, so for her Ascension you're going to need the event exclusive items. In this case it'll be the Golden Skulls, and you will need 4 of them for max Ascension, and they shouldn't be that difficult to get. So you should be able to get all 4 of them just by, you know, progressing through the event and getting enough copies of Nobunaga to max her out. As for her skill enhancement materials, she does need quite a lot, but the plus side is that a lot of these things you can get from the shop or from farming the event. So really, if you max out the event, you really shouldn't have any issues being able to max out her skills. So, not much else to talk about there. Just farm the event as much as you can and get as many points as possible, and you should have no issues here. And if you don't want to use them on Nobunaga, then you can use them for other characters, because the Talons and the Demon Hearts are pretty rare to get, so you might want to go ahead and use them on other characters if that's what you decide to do. Moving on to her command cards and her Noble Phantasm, she does have 1 Quick, 2 Arts, and 2 Buster. Now, unfortunately, she doesn't have a lot of Quick cards, but she is still really strong in Quick teams, and then you can also throw her into Arts and Buster teams as well. So, you know, pretty much any team you throw onto, she's going to do pretty good, and she's overall just a really solid character. And again, I said this quite a few times, but especially for a free-to-play character. Moving on here to her Noble Phantasm, it is a Buster card, and it will deal heavy damage to all enemies, and then it will also deal special damage to riding enemies, and that's on the overcharge. And this is what I was talking about previously, where not most, but like a lot of Saber enemies are divine. They are also riding enemies as well, so you're going to be doing even more damage to Saber enemies with her Noble Phantasm. So like I said, if you're going against Sabers, just throw her on your team and you're probably going to have a very easy time knocking them out. So moving on here to some of the craft essences you can use on this character. First up will be her unique craft essence you get for maximum bond, and this will unlock the revolving matchlock. Now this will increase critical strength of all allies by 25% while on the field. So that's, you know, a pretty good craft essence for her, because she does heavily rely on, well, not heavily rely on, but she does do really good on crit teams. So, you know, having that and the increased strength for that is always really, really nice. But, you know, if you don't have it, or it's not max bond yet, you can go ahead and throw on the Be Elegant craft essence, which will increase critical star drop rate by 25%. So, you know, that does kind of combo in with her other skills to give you the increased critical star drop rate and just make doing the crit damage that much easier. But, you know, you could also go the alternate route and just use Kaleidoscope or any other Noble Phantasm increasing craft essence and just start off with her Noble Phantasm ready to go. You know, maybe you have like a early wave of Sabers you need to knock out, you could just go ahead and do that and clear that wave extremely fast, and then start working on, you know, the rest of the fight and not have to worry about that first wave. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video here for Nobunaga. Again, you know, the character's not actually on global yet, so I can't use video footage of the character, but I will play the clip of her Noble Phantasm so you guys could at least see what that is, and I will see you guys tomorrow.